Okay, this is the 11 a.m. initial appearance docket. We're going to call you each in here individually, tell you why you're here. When you come into the room, there is a lectern in the center of the room. Stand behind that. Give me your full name and date of birth. I will be giving you important information you need to take with you. You don't have to try to memorize what I say, because before you leave the area, you'll receive a printed copy of the document that contains all the important information concerning your case to take with you. If you're someone who's here in a probation violation matter, that'll be heard in Maricopa County Superior Court. The Public Defender's Office is appointed at this time to represent you, so you'll have counsel at your next court appearance. If you are someone who is released, you need to make sure that you review the release order that you receive and comply with all of its conditions. For example, if the conditions include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime or having contact with alleged victims or witnesses, and you violate those conditions and you're taken into custody for that reason, you will not be released from custody easily again. I see we have the Spanish speaker at the top of the docket. Do we have an interpreter?
Yes, he's on.
All right.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Jose Garcia,
good morning.
Presidential Interpreter with CITS. Good morning, Your Honor.
All right. Let's start with, this would be Jordi Ochoa.
Bien, vamos a comenzar con Jordi Ochoa.
Your full name, date of birth, please.
Diga su nombre completo y su fecha de nacimiento, por favor.
Jordi Ochoa, March 10, 98.
Jordi Ochoa, March 10th, 98.
Right, Mr. Ochoa, you were previously charged with possession of drug paraphernalia and convicted. A revocation arraignment hearing was set on your probation on November 22nd. When you didn't show up, they issued a warrant for your arrest with a $50 bond. Your next court date in that matter is April 18th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
Muy bien, señor, usted previamente fue determinado, tuvo un fallo condenatorio por la tenencia de narcótico de droga. Usted se le determinó culpable. Hubo una audiencia de revocación de lectura de cargos el 22 de noviembre. Debido a que usted no se presentó, se emitió una orden de arresto. En la cantidad de $50 se fijó la fianza. Ahora, su siguiente audiencia se programa para el 18 de abril, 8:30 de la mañana, en el tribunal del centro, en el Tribunal Superior del Centro de Phoenix.
All right, and you were arrested yesterday and charged with the following offenses: possession of narcotic drugs, a class 4 felony; possession of drug paraphernalia, a class 6 felony; giving false information to law enforcement, a misdemeanor; and failing to stay at an accident, a vehicle accident, a misdemeanor.
Y usted fue detenido ayer y se le imputan los siguientes delitos: el punto acusatorio de la tenencia de droga narcótica, delito mayor categoría 4, el delito de la tenencia de adminículo de droga, delito mayor categoría 6, como también dar información falsa a las agencias policiales, delito menor categoría 1, y el hacer caso omiso de permanecer en el lugar de los hechos de un accidente, delito menor categoría 1.
I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. A $1,000 bond is set. Your next court date will be April 17th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Do you have any questions?
Le he nombrado un abogado de oficio. Se fija la cantidad de fianza en la cantidad de $1,000. Su siguiente audiencia será en el Tribunal Superior del Centro de Phoenix el 17 de abril a las 8:30 de la mañana. ¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta?
Necesito pagar los $1,000 para salir ahorita.
Do I need to pay the $1,000 to be released today?
Yes, you do. You can get it through a bonding company. It's not cash. You can get it through a bonding company, but you have two bond amounts: $1,000 on your new arrest and $50 on your probation matter.
Sí, así es. No es de una caución garantizado, no es dinero en efectivo. Perdón, no es dinero en efectivo, es de caución garantizada, pero tiene dos fianzas, una de $1,000 vinculada a su nueva causa y otra de $50 vinculada a su causa de régimen probatorio, probation en inglés.
All right.
¿Y no puedo pagar el 10% para salir?
Okay, but am I able to pay 10% to be released?
Yes, if my understanding the way bonding companies work, you must post 10% and secure the balance with property. I have no control over that, but it's not a cash-only bond that's set in either case.
Sí, eso es lo que yo entiendo de cómo funcionan las empresas fiancistas. Usted debe de dar cierta cantidad como garantía de algún bien personal, porque esta fianza no es de dinero en efectivo solamente, sino es una fianza de caución garantizada.
¿Qué significa eso? Caución garantizada.
What is a bond?
It's money that you have to post with the court, or here they can accept it in jail, to secure your release if you're being held on a bond. That's cash, money. Well, it's not cash in your case. It is a bonding company can post it for you.
Es dinero que usted va a poner, que le va a entregar al tribunal a través de la empresa fiancista. No es dinero en efectivo en su causa.
Okay, all right. Okay, step back. Would you like to inquire? Don't go ahead and go back.
Absolutely, Your Honor. This was the only case so far?
Yeah, that's the only so far.
I understand, Your Honor. The interpreter will make a general call. ¿Existe alguien más presente que necesite los servicios de interpretación esta mañana? Si puede, por favor, levantar su mano.
No hands. All right. Thank you, Monsieur Interpreter. Great job.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a wonderful day, you and your staff.
All right. Okay. Do we have the attorneys ready?
Both, yeah.
Both? Is Mr. Garcia from the county attorney's office present?
Yes.
All right. Let me call those cases. We will call Brian Welch.
Brian Welch, March 23rd, 1973.
All right, Mr. Welch, and your attorney would announce your presence at this time.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jackie Chapman on behalf of Mr. Brian Welch.
And Mr. Deputy County Attorney.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning. Stephen Garcia on behalf of the state.
All right. Mr. Welch, you were arrested yesterday, charged with one count of aggravated assault with a dangerous instrument, Class 6 felony, and one count of reckless driving, a Class 2 misdemeanor. Does the county attorney's office have a position concerning any release conditions for Mr. Welch?
Yes, Your Honor. Given the nature of the charge and the danger to the community as well as the victim, and it's our understanding that the victim is a landlord for the defendant, we're requesting $50,000 secured appearance. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Chapman?
Thank you, Your Honor. based on the Form 4, I did get some information. I was also able to speak with a witness who had reached out to our office on behalf of Mr. Welch regarding the incident. Upon information and belief, I believe this was an act of self-defense with the landlord making some pretty... The nature of the confrontation between him and the landlord led Mr. Welch to be in harm's way and concerned for the safety of other people that were on the property as well. And it is my understanding that he was attempting to contact law enforcement and get some protection as well from this individual, the alleged victim in this case. I understand the dangerous instrument that's alleged per the Form 4 was a tree branch. So Mr. Welch did not use a weapon, a gun, a knife, or any weapon like that. He owns and operates a business that is located here in the community. He has extensive family members, including his child, a brother, his parents, located here in Arizona. He's not at risk of absconding and not appearing. He's contacted my office for representation. With respect to the danger to the community, he was, in fact, attempting to protect another individual who was on scene. And with respect to the individual alleged to be the victim in this case, a no contact order obviously would be warranted in this case. I don't believe Mr. Welch wants any contact from this individual as well. We don't believe that there would be any need for a $50,000 bond. Mr. Welch understands the severity or the nature of the charges and understands that if he doesn't comply with the release conditions set by this court, that he could be held in custody until such time that his case is resolved. I would not have any concerns that he would not be responsive to the court's orders, that he would, in fact, pose a danger to the alleged victim in this case, and that he would stay away from him and not have any contact. Further, I would note he doesn't have any recent significant criminal history. His convictions listed, at least on the Form 4, appear to be almost 30 years old. So for those reasons, we would ask that you release the defendant on his own recognizance with the understanding that he would obviously be required to follow all court orders that were imposed today.
All right, thank you. Mr. Garcia, do you have any response?
Your Honor, without going too deep into the minutia, the state still has concerns for safety of the community. According to the Form 4, there were 2 independent witnesses, or at least witnesses, who saw that the defendant was the initiator of the argument. Full disclosure, my understanding is that they did not see the strike itself with the weapon. And in addition, Your Honor, there are concerns, just that alone, that there seems to be some sort of anger issue there for the defendant. And I'm not certain who he would be defending on the property when he was seen by an air unit fleeing from the scene and driving erratically on a motorcycle. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to set bond because of the circumstances in this case, which are somewhat unresolved. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $5,000. It's not cash only. You can get it from a bonding company. The conditions of release include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime or having any contact with the alleged victim or witnesses. If an order of protection, and I don't know the relationship that you have with the victim, but if the victim qualifies for an order of protection and one is issued and you're served with a copy, you must comply with its terms. All right.
Your Honor, if we could be heard regarding the court's order not to return, we would ask that he be permitted to return one time with law enforcement to obtain his items. The relationship between the alleged victim and Mr. Welch, or the landlord-tenant, Mr. Welch is the tenant. The alleged victim is the landlord. All of Mr. Welch's personal belongings and items are at the home where he was living at the time that this incident occurred. So he does, it's imperative that he be able to get his things.
Yeah, there's no problem with him contacting local law enforcement and having a supervised return to the property so he can obtain his possessions. All right?
Thank you. If the court can just make sure that's in the written release conditions, without that, Mesa PD will not often honor the civil standby.
Yeah, I really, I don't know that it's necessary. I put, with this record that we're making is retrievable, and I will say that provided that it is a supervised return to the property with law enforcement, he's free to do that. It will not be a violation of any order that I've entered so far.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Yes.
I'm sorry. And this is a point of clarification. Your Honor, I think I overstated one issue there. I was actually thinking of a different case. With regard to a witness who was at the scene or near the scene, it was actually a neighbor who heard the defendant and the victim arguing, and that was the extent of their observation. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. That won't change anything we've done, anything I've ordered. All right. You're free to go back, Mr. Will. Thank you, Your Honor. The order in just a few minutes. Ms. Chapman, he'll be receiving a copy of the release order that for I don't know how you can get one. Do we? We do?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. All right. You'll receive
very
a
good.
copy.
Also,
Yes,
can you
go
just
ahead.
confirm his physical location, just to provide that information to the person who's going to be picking him up?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. He can do that.
No,
I've never had a
Yeah,
problem.
what?
Yeah, go. You were trying to talk to your client?
No, I'm trying to ask the court, just can you please confirm the physical location where he's being detained right now, so that upon his release, can make sure that his bride will know where to pick him up at. What detention center is he at?
The address is contained in the police report, and I don't know what else to tell you. It says that
Okay.
this offense was alleged to have been committed wherever it says in the Form 4.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I'll get the other information. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Have a
We
good
will
day.
be in recess in that matter. The next matter is Jeffrey G. Full name, date of birth, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jeffrey G., December 5th, 1983.
All right, and I do not have a copy of the notice of appearance from your counsel. Would he please announce he or she announce their presence?
Yes, Judge. Michael Tambu on behalf of Jeffrey G., who is in custody present, standing at the podium.
All right, and Mr. Garcia is present from the county attorney's office, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. G was charged on April 9th with the following offenses: armed robbery with a deadly weapon, a Class 2 felony, a form of kidnapping causing the victim to have apprehension of injury, a Class 2 felony, and assault with a dangerous or deadly instrument, a Class 3 felony. The public defender's office is was going to be appointed to represent him if he didn't have counsel here. Does Mr. Garcia's county attorney's office have a position concerning any release conditions for Mr. G?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, we're asking for a $150,000 cash bond. This is based on obviously the seriousness of the charges here, and the danger to the community, as well as the location, the business, the actual victim, and any other employees who work there. It's our understanding that the defendant brandished a weapon in order to rob the business, and then fled the scene. Sometime later, he was pulled over by police. He advised police, he was with his wife, is also my understanding. He advised police that he was on his way to turn himself in. even if that were true, taking him at his word, we still feel that he would be a danger to the community. Thank you.
All right, and you requested a bond be set in what amount?
$150,000 cash, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I did neglect to mention he does have a fairly dated felony conviction, low level, class 6 theft, obviously a property crime as well. It also appeared that he did request from the court on at least one occasion to set that conviction aside. My understanding is the request was denied. Thank you.
All right. And counsel for Mr. G, would you restate your last name?
Tamu, T-A, M as in Mary, O-U.
All right. Do you have any position concerning any release conditions for your client?
Yes, Judge, if I may be heard on his release conditions.
Sure.
Yes, Judge, we would be respectfully requesting that the court set a secured appearance bond. We'd be willing to ask for $50,000 secured appearance. We believe the amount, coupled with strict restrictions and conditions, ensures compliance with the court proceedings, and it balances the seriousness of the allegations against them. Essentially, first, this is Mr. G's last offense was a felony theft conviction, I believe, that occurred nearly 13 years ago. Essentially, he did try to actively look for the ability to set aside. It was denied. It was filed pro per, and essentially we believe that there was just mistakes within the pleading that caused it to be denied. I do not believe, from my understanding with the family, that it was due to the seriousness of those offenses. Second, at the time of his offense, Judge, he was driving to the police station, and it was to discuss the allegations against them. And, I'm not sure if the statement regarding him turning himself in essentially is exactly what it was. I do believe, regardless of the fact of what was stated at that time, it does reflect a willingness of him to cooperate. I don't believe it was an admission of guilt, but I do believe that he took proactive steps in respect to the judicial process and making sure that the court knows and the state knows, look, if this is something he's facing, he's going to face it, just face it straight on. Judge, thirdly, I'd like to say that he has deep roots here in Arizona. Obviously, he's been here since the date of his last offense. He resides with his wife. He has 2 young children. I believe that their ages are 5 years old and 3 years old, whom he helps support. He's lived at this address, I believe, for over 4 or 5 years. His family's completely behind him. They essentially jumped on the horn and they stated that they wanted to be able to make sure that the court knew that they would 100% guarantee that he would be available for any and all future proceedings. Judge, I do believe that in this kind of situation, the bond's purpose is to create the least onerous ways to make sure that he appears for his court hearing. Obviously, with him driving towards the police station, we could agree that he wasn't running away. He was running towards getting this issue resolved. I believe that ankle monitoring would ensure that accountability, a strict no contact order with the victim, the hidden house restaurant and the vicinity within that, and regular check-ins with pretrial services if the bond is something that he could put up. Look, Judge, we understand the seriousness of these offenses, obviously, with what's going on, but we don't want to downplay the seriousness of it. I just wanted to let you know that my client, essentially was in rehab. He was going through therapy for many different items and different things that were going on in his life. I believe this, and from what the family understands, this may have been a manic state that he was in at the time of the offense. So we do believe that $150,000 cash bond is very, very over the top in this situation, given the date of his last offense, the lack of the seriousness of that offense. And we do believe that $25,000 to $50,000 secured appearance with ankle monitoring would hold him to that and make sure that he does attend his court appearances while being able to be a father at home, a husband at home, to a registered nurse who won't be able to work and afford to pay for bills alone on the road. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Garcia, any response?
No, thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
All right. Everything you say, counsel, may be correct, but at this stage of proceedings, I make a decision based upon what I've been presented with, and this was a pretty egregious offense. It could have led to somebody's life, and based upon the information I have at this stage of proceedings, and I tell everybody in here that any order that I enter can be modified at any subsequent court proceeding if there's good cause to do that. But at this particular time, based upon what I've been presented with and assuming that the behavior that's described in the Form 4 is correct, I'm setting a bond in the amount of $50,000. It's not cash only. Conditions of release include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime or having contact with victims or witnesses. And the next court date will be April 17th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
April 17th. I apologize, Judge.
Pardon me?
Did you say April 17th?
Yeah. The first court date he'll have after this one, unless you request an accelerated hearing of some sort, will be April 17th at 8:30 for a status conference undesignated in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix.
Of course, Judge. And just so I could verify, I apologize, it was a little bit choppy. It's a $50,000 secured bond.
Yes, 50,000 secured appearance bond.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
You bet. All right, we'll be in recess. There's your order, Mr. G. All right. Next, we will have Elijah Harris. All right. Elijah Harris, and then after that will be Nicholas Dials. Full name, date of birth, please. Full name, date of birth.
Elijah Michael Harris, August 25th, 2000.
All right, Mr. Harris, you're on felony probation. They contend you violated conditions of probation on March 18th. A warrant for your arrest was issued with a $100 bond. Your next court date will be April 18th at 8:30 in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, for a revocation arraignment. All right? Nicholas Dials, and then after that will be Alexander Green. Full name, date of birth?
Nicholas Jacob DeLess,
Date of birth?
June 19th, 1994.
All right. You're on felony probation, 2 separate felony convictions. They contend you violated conditions of probation on March 31st. A warrant was issued in each case. Each case was a no bond warrant, so you'll be held without bond at least until your revocation arraignment hearing, which will be April 18th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
Got it. Thank you.
Alexander Green, then it will be Cody Meek. Full name, date of birth.
Alexander Green, December 6th, 1995.
All right, Mr. Green, you have probation violation arrest warrants from 2 different courts. From Maricopa County Superior Court, you're on felony probation on April 8th. A warrant for your arrest was issued in that case with a $400 bond. Your next court date will be April 18th at 8:30, and you're at your revocation arraignment hearing in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. You have a warrant out of Buckeye, 2 warrants out of Buckeye Municipal Court. Let me see here. You were on felony probation there for a shoplifting, I say felony, misdemeanor probation for a shoplifting charge. A warrant for your arrest was issued on March 19th for failing to perform the conditions of probation that were required. That was with a $500 bond. Your next court date in that matter will be in Buckeye Municipal Court on April 15th at 1 p.m. You have another warrant out of Buckeye Municipal Court. It's an initial arrest warrant charging you with possession of drug paraphernalia, a misdemeanor. This is alleged to have occurred on March 1st. The warrant in this case was $500. Also, your next court date in this matter will be April 16th at 1 p.m. in Buckeye Municipal Court, and you have the orders right there. Go ahead and have a seat. Cody Meek, and then it will be Elmer Palacios. Full name, date of birth.
Cody Allen Meek, July 8th, 2001.
All right. You are on felony probation for 5 different felony convictions. A warrant for your arrest was issued in all of those cases on March 10th. 5 of them, the warrant was for $1,000. In one of them, it was for $750. Your next court date in all those matters will be with your revocation arraignment hearing, Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, April 18th at 8:30. You have a new charge out of Encanto Justice Court. Get that up here. In the jurisdiction of Encanto Justice Court, you were arrested yesterday and charged with aggravated assault, a Class 5 felony, when they were trying to arrest you, apparently. What? According to Form 4, the Public Defender's Office will represent you in that case. Also, the bond I set in that case is $500. Next court date, April 17th at 8:30. That's all your cases.
So
right?
can you tell me the totals? Or?
What's that? Sure.
The 3,750. That's the total for all of them? Thank you.
That's everything. All right. Elmer Palacios, and then it will be Cheyenne Segura. Full name, date of birth, please.
Elmer Palacios, August 10th, 1984.
All right. You, sir, were arrested. Let me get your case up here. Yesterday, charged with possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of 2 counts of possession of narcotic drugs, Class 4 felonies, and possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You apparently were also on felony probation, and you have in 2 separate felony convictions, and your probation officer has requested that a hold be placed on you in each of those. On the new charge, a bond is set in the amount of $500. Your next court date will be in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix on April 17th at 8:30. I appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you in the new charge and the probation matters also. In the probation matters, the amount of bond is set in those 2 cases, $500 apiece. Your next court date will be April 18th at 8:30 also, downtown Phoenix. There you go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Cheyenne Segura, and then it'll be Damian Espinoza. Full name, date of birth, please.
Cheyenne Segura, December 26, 2001.
All right. You were previously charged with one count each of the following: possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony; possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony; possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony; and misdemeanor shoplifting. A preliminary hearing was scheduled on May 9th of 2022. When you failed to appear, a warrant for your arrest was issued. I am increasing the amount of that warrant to $10,000. You'll also be subject to, if you post the bond to get out, or if you're eventually released, if the bond is reduced, you'll be subject to electronic monitoring. And your next court date will be April 21st at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Damian Espinoza, and then it'll be Fabian Dusella. Full name, date of birth.
Damian Espinoza, 2/29/88.
All right, Mr. Espinoza, you were arrested yesterday, charged with one count of the following offenses: aggravated assault on a first responder, a Class 6 felony; criminal damage, or I'm sorry, I take that back. You also were charged with 3 counts of disorderly conduct by fighting, a misdemeanors, and criminal damage by defacement, a misdemeanor, and resisting arrest with passive resistance, a misdemeanor. You are capable financially of hiring your own counsel. Pretrial services says if that's not correct, you can request appointment of counsel at your next court appearance. A secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500 is set. Conditions of your release: if you are released, not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, have contact with victims or witnesses, and if an order of protection is issued and you serve with a copy, you must comply with its terms. Next court date will be April 17th at 8:30 in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix.
Can I just have one request? Can we make it a cash? Can I do cash bond instead of secure bond?
It's not cash. You can get it through a bonding company, or you can post cash.
Okay, that's what I just want. Okay, that's what I want to do.
All right. Fabian Dusella, then it'll be Emily Franco.
Here we go.
Full name, date of birth, please.
David Hajatosla, 06/01/1999.
All right. You, sir, are here. You were arrested yesterday, charged with a form of burglary, a Class 3 felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you in that case. Also, you were on felony probation, and this is a term, what your conduct yesterday would amount to a term 1 violation. Your probation officers requested a hold be placed on you. A bond, I'm setting a bond in the new charges. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you, and the bond is set in the amount of $500. Your conditions of release: not to go back to that location where this burglary is alleged to have occurred. And your next court date will be April 17th at 8:30 on the probation violation matter. A $250 bond is set. April 18th will be your next court date in that matter. Emily Franco, and then it'll be Xavier Aldana.
Hi, Your Honor. Emily Franco, 103190.
All right, ma'am. You were picked up yesterday. This is your second arrest on 2 cases from Santan Justice Court.
Yeah.
One was for, let's see, there were 2 counts of shoplifting, and the other one, a different date and time. 2 more counts of shoplifting. You missed 2 court dates. This is your second arrest. The warrant was issued on January 30th. I reduced the bond amount and the amount that the warrants were issued for. They were $680 a piece. I reduced it to $150 in each case. Your next court date will be April 16th at 8:30, Santan Justice Court. If you bond out, make sure you show up on that date.
I'm not receiving the mail when it comes. I'm not receiving the mail when it comes like a court date, so I'm not sure what address you guys have on file because I haven't received any.
That order that we handed you gives you all the information you need. It has the address of the court, the date, time, and place you're to be there, and the amount of the bond, which is been reduced from 150 to from 680 in each case. All right? Okay. There you go. Xavier Aldana, and then it will be Christian Warjito.
Xavier Aldana, 100906.
Yeah, go ahead.
Xavier Aldana, 100906.
All right, Mr. Aldana, you are here because... Where am I? Where am I here? 24. Page. You were previously charged in Peoria Municipal Court with a form of assault, criminal damage, and disorderly conduct by fighting. You had a court appearance on March 4th. When you didn't show up, they issued a warrant for your arrest with a $250 bond, cash only. Your next court date in that matter will be April 15th at 9 a.m. Peoria Municipal Court. And then you were picked up yesterday. I take that back. It was April 5th. This is alleged to have occurred. Unlawful flight from law enforcement in a motor vehicle of Class 5 felony and reckless driving, a misdemeanor. Pretrial services says you're financially capable of hiring your own counsel. A $750 bond has been set. Your next court date in this matter will be in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, April 17th at 8:30.
I have just one question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Would I have to pay the bond for the first thing if I were to try to get out today? So I have to pay both of them at the same time?
You have. When you didn't show up in Peoria Municipal Court on March 4th, they issued a warrant with a $250 cash bond on the new charge that you've been picked up on, the flight from law enforcement. A $750 bond to set. I'm setting that one. All right.
And then, if you don't mind me asking one more time, this would be where I can just call the bondsman and go.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Except the one that has to be $250 cash.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Christian Moreno, and then it'll be Jordan Paris. Polling date of birth?
Christian Warito, 11/28/91.
Yeah, Mr. Garcia, I keep forgetting to ask if you're still on the line. No. He's not. Okay. You were arrested yesterday, charged with a form of endangerment, a Class 6 felony by fire. It's alleged that you fired a firearm in the city limits, and that in itself is an offense, separate offense. Firing a firearm in the city limits, a Class 6 felony. Pretrial services says you're financially capable of hiring your own attorney. If that's not correct, you can request appointment of counsel. The county attorney's office was asking for a $50,000 bond in this case. You don't have any criminal history. I'm just concerned that you may go back and do something crazy. I set a $3,000 bond. Your next court date is April 17th at 8:30. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have contact with alleged victims or witnesses, and if an order of protection is issued and you're served with a copy, you must comply with its terms, all right?
All right,
There you go. Jordan Paris, and then it will be Gordon Hall. Full name, date of birth, please.
Jordan Paris, May 16th, 1995.
All right. You were previously charged in Desert Ridge Justice Court back in May of 2020. Some careless operation of watercraft and driving while under the influence of a vehicle, a boat, while you were under the influence. Both of those are misdemeanors. You were to appear back in October of 2020. When you didn't show up, they issued a warrant for your arrest. This is your first arrest warrant in that case. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance to appear in Desert Ridge Justice Court, April 28th at 1:30. All right?
Thank you.
Take me back. Thank you. Gordon Hall, and then it'll be Gary Hammond.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm Gordon Hall, March 16th, 1998.
All right, Mr. Hall. You were charged yesterday with unlawful failing to return rented property. In this case, it's a Class 5 felony. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Based upon what I've seen in your case, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance to appear in downtown Phoenix, Maricopa County Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, April 28th at 8:30. All right?
Thank you,
There you go. Gary Hammond, and then it'll be Sean Belton. Full name, date of birth, Mr. Hammond.
9579, Your Honor.
And your full name?
Full name is Gary Lee Hammond.
All right, you were charged yesterday with disorderly conduct by fighting, a misdemeanor, and criminal damage by defacement. That is a Class 5 felony. In this case, a Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you. I'm going to release you on what we call supervised release.
Okay.
Okay. The first thing you have to do, there's a phone number to call pretrial services, but in a few days of your release, you must call that number and touch base with them, all right?
Okay, so...
All right. Your next court date will be April 28th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. All that information's on there. Conditions of your release, and this is the important part, you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, have contact with alleged victims or witnesses, and if an order of protection is issued and you're served with a copy, you must comply with its terms. Do you understand?
I understand, sir.
If you have property there, you can contact local law enforcement, and they will arrange to monitor you and arrange for a time for you to, that's agreeable to the people who live there to come and pick up your property. All right?
I understand.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. So I'm going to release today then. Thank you.
Sean Belton, and then it'll be Alicia Sires Gully. Full name, date of birth.
Sean Belton, September 30th, 1972.
All right. The county attorney's office has charged you by direct complaint with fraudulent schemes and artifices. That's a Class 2 felony, and theft or control of stolen property. That's a Class 3 felony. The first one was a Class 2 felony, if I mispronounced that. The Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you. I'm releasing you on your own recognizance to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, April 28th at 8:30.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
You bet. Alicia, then it'll be Nicholas Payne.
Hello, Your Honor. My name is Alicia Cyrus Deli. My birthday is November 16th, 1990.
All right, ma'am. By direct complaint, the county attorney's office has charged you with resisting arrest with physical force. That's a Class 6 felony, and obstruction by refusing to give your correct name when they ask, the law enforcement ask you. That's a misdemeanor. I appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm releasing you on your own recognizance to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, April 28th at 8:30. There you go. Nicholas Payne, and then it'll be Brenton Berens.
Nicholas Payne, 22693.
All right, Mr. Payne, let me get your case stuff here. You were arrested yesterday in charge of possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, on April 28th at 8:30.
Okay, I just have a quick question. I've been on methadone. I've already signed up for a rehab program. And I don't see the probable cause. They literally just stopped me walking, and they reached in my pocket, and I had trash in there. They found a piece of straw. That's all they found. The drugs were not mine. They were on the ground. I said that camp.
Okay, I saw, I don't know if it was you, but somebody who was arrested for law enforcement, but they were watching the drugs for somebody else. Tell your attorney that, okay? I'm releasing you. I appointed the public defender's office to represent you, so you have counsel, all right? But based upon what I've seen in the police report, there was at least probable cause to believe that those were your drugs, all right? There you go. Well, okay, there you go.
Brenton Dennis Barons, 04/22/1993.
All right, Mr. Lorenz, you were arrested yesterday, charged with 2 counts, child sex trafficking with a minor, Class 2 felonies. I appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I will tell you, this law enforcement takes these matters pretty seriously. The county attorney's office was asking for $150,000 cash only. You don't have any prior criminal conduct, and what I set in a matter of a bond is subject to modification at your next court appearance if it's appropriate. But I'm setting a secured appearance bond. That means it's not cash. The amount of $25,000, you're to be subject to electronic monitoring if you're released, and you are not to have any contact with minors.
What about living with my daughter, sir?
Well, right now, my order, if you are released and you can request that the next court appearance that you have or any subsequent court appearance for conditions of release to be modified, okay? I don't know anything about your background. You had kids, but that will be something that the next judge that you see can entertain. All right, there you go.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we got a couple of house calls. Let me put Mark Mejia's case. He was a house call. I spoke to him by phone after the last hearing, and he was charged on October 31st with possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony, possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, In possession of drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony, I appoint the public defender's office to represent him, but he was on felony release. This is a grand jury arrest warrant, and so no bond was set in it, and I'm affirming that, and his next court date will be April 18th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Christopher Hernandez. Was charged yesterday with the following: 1 count each, aggravated driving while under the influence, a class 4 felony, reckless driving, a misdemeanor, possession of an open container of alcohol, a misdemeanor, failing to stay in at an accident, a misdemeanor, and driving on a suspended or revoked license. Public Defender's Office appointed to represent him. A $1,500 bond is set. His next court date will be April 17th at 8:30 Superior Court, downtown Phoenix. Is that it? That's it. All right. I just have that one house call, which is Mr. Hernandez. Okay, stand up.